Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Second channel Ram back again with a brand new video. And in today's video, we're back with another episode of Month of EVO, the last one before EVO. We came a long way. Now, don't worry, after this weekend of EVO, we'll still do a game till the end of July, but right now, we're gonna take a break and watch EVO's announcements, games, and stuff like that. But anyways, today we're back with another game before EVO starts. So today we're talking about a game that we're diving into the 3D fighter atmosphere, but not entirely. Today we'll be looking at Virtua Fighter 2. Now you may be wondering what I mean by not entirely going into this. So let me explain. For starters, disclaimer, this isn't going to be an authentic video on Virtua Fighter 2 because the Virtua Fighter 2 I have and was playing is not the 3D fighter one, instead it's a 2D fighter one. So I know the original and more well known is Virtua Fighter 2, the 3D one, but I don't have it and I don't know where to play it. So I have the 2D one on my Steam account. That one I think is the Genesis version, which is why it looks 2D. It's on the Sega Genesis collection. It has all those games on there, and Virtua Fighter 2 is on here, and it looks like this. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the least authentic version. So sorry in advance because this isn't gonna be an authentic. I'm still gonna try to talk about Virtua Fighter 2, but we'll see. So you may be wondering, per usual, what is Virtua Fighter 2? Well, I think Virtua Fighter 2 is one of the first games to introduce this amount of good-looking graphics in a 3D fighter. So I think its competitor were probably Soul Calibur and Tekken. So Virtua Fighter was the first one to look really this good. And yeah, so it's a 3D fighter, but this one is a 2D fighter, so they have not that much big of a roster because it is an older game. This is the introduction of this is not the introduction, but I think this is one of the most iconic Virtua Fighters. One of the most iconic fighting games in general as well. But yeah, so the roster is very small. We only have a few characters, and I can't really talk about Virtua Fighter personally because I was never a fan. I recently just got it just because I was diving into that franchise of fighting games, and I saw it was actually $1 on Steam. So yeah. So Virtua Fighter's controls are this is where we start talking about 3D Fighters controls, but there's a button for block, kick, punch, and some other one I think. But here's only 3: block, punch, kick. That's it. So there's for button for blocking, a button for punching, a button for kicks. Now the thing with 3D fighters is that usually since there's no like in 3D fighters you don't do quarter circles, half circles, dragon inputs. Those just don't exist unless you get into Tekken 7 where we get different types of characters, but that's another video for next week. So Virtua Fighter 2, we're starting to talk about these 3D fighters because this is what the direction we're going in now. So you have those, so you just I don't know the moveset. The game does not include one, not at all throughout the entire collection, so it's a little vague. In fact, I can't really tell you about the moves and stuff because I'm spamming. You can throw. I tried it. I hold 2 buttons and you can throw people, but yeah. Now, what is there content-wise? So, obviously, it's very old, so we only have the versus mode and arcade mode. So, in those, you can, like what it says, go through a few opponents, and yeah. So, the thing with arcade mode is that you go through a certain amount of opponents, and the last fight, if you lose it, you don't get to restart it. Like, usually if you lose, you can retry like a normal arcade mode with the same opponent. But the last boss is, first off, it's not even a playable character, and also is if you fail, you fail. So like, your run, like you don't lose the whole run, but it just shows credits like if you beat it. So I didn't beat. Okay, I didn't go through a lot of this because it's kind of hard to play on this version. I'm assuming it's probably easier and better to play as in the 3D version, but the 2D version kind of sucks. It's not very authentic to the original, but yeah. Now design wise, the 3D version is probably the best looking 2D fighter. I mean, not 2D, 3D fighter of its time. It's ahead of its time, I guess. That's why it's so like monumental, because it's such a good looking game for when it was out, and it's probably one of the most impactful fighting games in the 3D genre. So yeah, it's a very big game in the community. Again, I can't really talk much about this because I don't have an authentic version of it, so I'm kind of like not very. Take my info with a grain of salt because the footage and what I have access to, it's not the authentic version. So, but anyways, other stuff in game, the music's good. Yeah, the music's just pretty good, better than some other fighting games not just for its time, but also just in general. Some of the songs are kind of banger. The arcade mode though. Each fight you can start off with 30 seconds. Usually in arcade mode, there's usually 99 seconds or 60. Here's like 30, which is new. I never seen that in any. Now in the options, you can higher it in seconds. I don't know if in the authentic versions you can do that, but here you can. So if you want to do it like 60 seconds or 15 seconds, you can do that. But yeah, that's a cool feature. So they're very short fights, obviously. Now, one of the things I kind of like about Virtua Fighter, and this is more like a personal thing because it doesn't happen to everybody, but the computers in this game are very funny. So I made a whole video on this on my main channel about playing Virtua Fighter 2. So if you want to check that out, you can. But it's just in the 2D 8-bit form, it looks so goofy when they're doing moves and stuff. So yeah, it's like it just looks funny when they just beat you up. So now, visually, character-wise, they don't look that great. I don't show it here, but there's a character named Jackie in game. His face doesn't look like it existed. It's just like a black line and it just looks like a T. But yeah, so some characters don't look that great. They probably look better in 3D, but again, I don't have that. So yeah, some characters don't look great. Some stages are pretty cool. there is a ring out, which is pretty common in 3D fighters, where you can get your opponent to the corner and just throw them off the arena. So there's a ring out. I think every stage has that, where you just basically it's an even worse punishment of getting cornered in a 2D fighter. So if you hit them close to the corner, you can just kick them off, and you instantly win the round. That happens, and you'll see that later when we do Soul Calibur. That's very that can happen. So yeah, if now if you're in the corner and you try to get out, because obviously in 2D fighters, another thing is that you kind of have to manually get up, or else they can combo you on the floor. So that's kind of what can happen. So what happened in my video when I did my main channel is when I was getting up, I rolled back and fell into the ring, out the ring. So you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of a 3D fighter kind of thing. But yeah. So obviously this one's going to be a bit of a shorter one, because there's not much to talk about with it's in-game, especially since I don't have the authentic version, or I don't know that much about Virtua Fighter as a whole. Now I know it's kind of dead. I think the last Virtua Fighter was probably a couple of years ago. So, and there's no updates to that anymore, so maybe in the future we'll get a new Virtua Fighter. Maybe at EVO tomorrow. I think tomorrow is the announcements, and then Tuesday is, I think the EVO schedule is Friday announcements. Saturday and Sunday are finals days, so I might just be getting a bunch of announcements tomorrow, so I'm very excited for that. So we're already going to talk about Virtua Fighter, so let me just tell you about some of the stuff I expect from EVO. So, I hope we get a Terry teaser from Street Fighter 6, because he's the next batter up in year 2. Hopefully get a teaser for him, or something cool, new costumes, something new, no Avatar collabs, like something relating to year 2, or maybe another round of costumes for the game. I don't know. There is going to be a KOF character, KOF 15 announced, so hopefully we get a cool one. Everyone's saying it's going to be a Street Fighter character, but based on the silhouette they dropped a few days ago, it looks like it's going to be just another round of KOF characters. I would like to be surprised, but we'll see. It doesn't look like it's going to be, but MK stuff I don't really care for. Tekken 8, people want collab characters, which would be cool. I'm just getting into the Tekken franchise. I have Tekken 7, which we're going to do a video on as well, but yeah. Maybe a new character for Strive. I think it's year 3 ended already, so hopefully we get another year of characters. I doubt any guest characters, but yeah, I hope we get another announcement for another character in Strive. Third Strike, obviously, there's not gonna be anything there. Grand Blue, I don't know of. The other anime fighter, I don't know of. So, long story short, Terry teaser, KOF collab character, and new Strive character. That's my hopes. So, but yeah. That's a bit off topic, but there's not much else to talk about for Virtua Fighter 2. Basically, long story short, if you're a fighting game fan, and you very into that genre, you should probably play Virtua Fighter 2. Like, you should know where everything came from, because it's a very iconic 3D fighter. And it still probably holds up to this day. Again, I'm talking very loosely because I don't know any of it. Of the real version, because just this Genesis version, the Steam version. But yeah, that's gonna do it for day 18. A really short one, but yeah, like and subscribe. Tomorrow we're talking about EVO. Tomorrow is EVO, so I'll see you guys then. And yeah, goodbye.